And welcome to my channel, Guided Intuition. I'm your host, Tori the Hope Dealer, aka the Self-Love Advocate. My hopes is that you join me on living your truth so that the desires of your heart may find you. This is a platform dedicated to true spirituality, healing codependency, personal empowerment, embodying your bliss, and life guidance. Come grow with me in self-love, you beautiful soul. And hello, my loves. It's Tori, the Hope Dealer of Guided Intuition. But I just heard Spirit speak to me and said, Tori, get to your table and allow God to use you. So here I am, okay, with a message, right? So, firstly, I want to welcome you, new or old. All right, sorry. I just had to move some things around. I had to move my incense, put it out, and do some things. So I feel like someone needs to know, Spirit is making room in your life. If people, places, things, ways, the ways that you do things, there's something about Spirit is making room for certain things that you have asked for. But in order for these things to come in, right, there needs to be like, I just feel like I can't even get it out and I feel like this could be uncomfortable. So something's being moved out of your life, or you're being asked to step into a role in your life that is like uncomfortable. And it makes sense right here with this 3 of Pentacles and 9 of Coins that came out. You know, sometimes when we ask for something that we view as an abundance, in order to get that, in order to manifest that, it requires you to get uncomfortable. Okay? When we are growing, when we are stretching, when we are changing, anytime you stretch something, you're taking it out of its physical form or the form that it's used to. So that can be uncomfortable. It doesn't necessarily have to hurt, but it's uncomfortable. You know, sometimes when we're doing something new and we're not, familiar with this territory, it's uncomfortable. But whatever you're doing that is uncomfortable, it's making room for your blessing. It's making room. It's expanding you in some form, right? Let's just say if you desire to, be a motivational speaker, and you desire to speak to people, and you desire to do certain things, it's going to require you to get uncomfortable, because you're going to have to start putting yourself in spaces where you're speaking out loud, you're sharing your voice, you're doing things. That can be uncomfortable. If you desire to act, you're going to have to go apply for, gigs and plays and take, auditions. That can be uncomfortable. If you desire to get healthy, your definition of healthy, and really, cleanse your body, you're going to be doing something new, so it's going to be uncomfortable. Maybe you're not used to expressing your sexuality or who you are. I want to say, your sexuality or your voice. You're not, you usually keep quiet. You don't take up space, and now you're taking up space. That can be uncomfortable. Let's just say if you desire love, healthy love in another, this requires you to open up. This requires you to get to know somebody. This requires you to be vulnerable, So I feel like it's something beautiful that's happening. And no matter how uncomfortable it is, keep going. Okay? Because whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I know it's uncomfortable, but ultimately it's going to bring you fulfillment. Okay. Now, 2 cards that we're going to, that I want to talk about before we start pulling together is the 3 of Coins and the 9 of Coins. And I pulled them out in 2 different decks, right? Because it came out first in my Hoodoo Tarot deck, but I wanted to look at it in the traditional tarot deck. And let's just think of whatever you are doing with the 3 of Pentacles. It's some path, it's some way of showing up. It's some insight, or, because I want to say insight, but Pentacles is like tangible. It's something that you're taking action on. It's something that you're doing for yourself. When I see the 9 of Pentacles, this is about abundance. It's about fulfillment. I love this Nine of Pentacles right here. I don't know if you guys can see her, but like she is just in comfort. So sometimes when we desire comfort, it requires us to get uncomfortable before you can obtain that comfort. But whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on, right? Wherever you're headed, whatever new path you're stepping on, it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but keep going because ultimately it's setting you up for comfort. You see her, honey? She got her, what is that? Her book, her little cat sitting in her lap, girl, her martini right here, like her little abundant tree. She's in comfort. And I really feel, if I'm truly honest, when we think about the Nine of Pentacles, this is fulfillment all about yourself. So you've made a decision to expand, to let something go, to walk away from something. You've made a decision to do something, and it's setting you up for emotional, physical, and mental fulfillment. And I love the Three of Coins in the traditional hoodoo deck because I love how it's just her on the deck and all of her magic tools and this, this cross on her neck, that is the divine. So I feel like this is you working. I feel like working with spirit because, in the traditional tarot deck, they have the Three of Pentacles and this is about, community working together. But I don't feel that. I feel like you're taking a path that honors you. You're listening to yourself. Like you are like, I'm going to honor me. I have to do what's best for me. And what is best for you and what is good for you, it might not be what everybody expected of you. And you have to be okay with that. I say that right because when I was shuffling these cards on the bottom of, what is this? I love this deck. The Southern Goth Oracle deck. This card, I don't know how to say that, but this card deals with willpower, abundant growth. You see how all this greenery is overgrowing. So I feel like you're making a decision to invest in your well-being in some form. And this is going to pay off. Now, when I see willpower, though, it is going to take you to walk in your power. It is going to take you to know that, have confidence. I feel like you're doing something that's going to require you to have confidence. It's going to require you to trust yourself. It's going to require you to see it through. You might first start it. You might, first be doing this thing. You might first go this way. And maybe, you're taking a path that everyone's not going. Literally, as I'm saying that, I'm looking out my window, guys, and there's so much grass. And I just see like this lizard looking out into the grass, like looking out into the abyss. There's something, a whole new world has opened up to you because you claimed your interdependence, right? I feel like you left something behind, and I feel whatever you left behind, it was linked to codependency in some form. Hi, little girl, just staring at the window again. And it's so funny that I've seen a little girl because I feel like whatever you left behind and you're walking towards your inner dependence, it was really linked to your inner child, but from that inner child wound, It was some wound, and this could be in relationships or some kind of an addiction of some sort. It could have been a habit, something that you were doing. But I feel like you've made a decision to give this up, right? And invest in yourself. And I really feel this is something to do with, when I see the Three of Pentacles, I think about, a profession, your professional career, growth, upgrading, improvement, social status. I love the Three of Coins in the Hoodoo deck, because it's all about promotion. It's all about success, growth. I don't know if some of you recently, you're changing your employment, or you're thinking about venturing out, doing something different, or expanding or starting something. Spirit is saying, yes, go for that promotion. Go for that thing. Okay? Whatever you are working on, wherever you're, this new thing that you're deciding to do. And I feel like it's something to do with your happiness, your fulfillment. It's about you. When the Nine of Pentacles shows up, it emphasizes on independence, interdependence. So I feel like this decision that you're making, it's one that truly honors your truth. So no matter how hard or how, difficult it might be, Spirit is telling you to keep going, So let's just see, what is it that Spirit wants you to know about this new path that you are taking with yourself, and really standing in your power, really honoring your boundaries, really daring to think, daring to trust what you think, to trust your intuition, daring to choose you. So let's see. What do they need to know, Spirit, about this journey that they have started with their self? What do they need to know about this new thing that they're doing, this new way that they're showing up? Being that they have ended a cycle of codependency in some form. You've given up something. You've let something go, right? Yep. Okay. Okay. So I just heard like the shadows of the past. So sometimes, and this is 7 is a divine number. So sometimes, right, when we're on a journey of bettering ourselves, we're on a journey of doing things, and we're done with the past. And we know that Mercury goes retrograde on the 10th. And sometimes the past can come up. And I felt that. I felt like, the shadows of the past. Do not allow the shadows of the past, or the things that you used to do, or how you used to show up, or how things used to go for you. Don't allow that to mess up this new beginning that you have within yourself. Abandoned plantation. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can see how the plantation, looks. And I love this card, but it says ugly truth. What is this? Dismantling. Okay. All right. Okay. So I feel like you're in a new phase in your life, a new beginning, a new way of doing things, a new way of showing up. Something has ended. I feel like, facing some kind of ugly truth, facing something that was maybe not easy to face right here. Giving something up, letting something go, looking at maybe how you looked at yourself, how you seen yourself. Maybe it was that relationship. Maybe not really putting the relationship with yourself first. It was something that you had to look at, right? You've dismantled that. But what you have to know, when you are on a journey, and you're stepping into new territory, and you're doing something new, it can be a little difficult. It can feel a little funny. It can feel scary. And I wish I can tell you that on the journey of your definition of success, that it is always going to feel good. It's not. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to be that person that's going to lie to you and tell you when you're working your dream, when you're doing something that's good for you, that it's going to feel good when you're enforcing your boundaries, that it's going to feel good when you stop people pleasing, that it's always going to feel good. And every single day you're going to be motivated to pursue the desires of your heart and to pursue your craft. I'm not going to lie to you like that, but it will be well worth it. So I feel like, maybe this is, you're out of your comfort zone. And sometimes because we're scared, how fear will manifest is, we'll fall back into old habits. We'll fall back into old ways of being, old ways of thinking. And Spirit is saying, you're done with that. Abandoned plantation. You're done with that. There's no need to return back to that. And I'm reminded of a quote by Maya Angelou that says, there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you. Spirit is saying, don't go back to what is familiar. Whether this is an old relationship, okay? Whether there's somebody coming back around, because we know it's Mercury Retrograde, honey, and this person want another chance, or you want to go back to old habits or old ways of thinking or old ways of being. Spirit is saying you are done with that. You are born new. Whatever you're doing, it might be uncomfortable, but it is going to set you up for true comfort. But maybe you're in that uncomfortable phase of it, okay? That's what Spirit is saying. Maybe right now it doesn't feel good. Right now it's uncomfortable. Okay? Let's get a tarot on the back. Grounding. Fierce protection. What is this? Armadillo basket. I feel like this is you needed to protect your energy from the past, going back to the past, going back to what hurt you, going back to what let you down. Okay. I feel like you're facing the ugly truth about, maybe certain people. I feel like that's going to be made clear to you, having to look at. Yep. Because on the bottom of the deck, we have breakthrough, mental focus, having to look at something that, what? Ooh, 9 of Cups. Okay, let me turn these cards around. Yeah, like it's going to be worth it. Whatever you're facing, whatever you're doing, it might not feel like it right now, but it's going to be worth it. The Queen of Wands, generosity. And I feel like this is you, I'm seeing like with generosity, there's something connected to your past that you need to let it stay in the past. And for some of you, this is a person. And I just hear like, the Tower, let them stay. Let that situation, let that habit, let that mindset, that lack, whatever that is, let that stay in the past. Got the Hermit, completion, soul searching. Ooh, right? The Sun. Abundance, prosperity, and it's funny that it came out reverse. The Priestess, illumination, knowledge, the Ace of Rings, success. So maybe right now you're at the beginning stages of doing something, facing something, trying something. With this Sun reverse right here, it might be uncomfortable. I can't get away from this. It's clear. This message is clear as day. It is uncomfortable right now, right? Maybe facing those ugly truths, maybe dismantling an old way of being, having to let someone or something go, having to let whatever you clung onto, whatever you cloaked yourself in. Maybe this is a mindset, a way of being, One of the examples that just came to my mind is kind of like, if you desire to experience love in another, but, due to the past, that ugly past of failed relationships or a failed marriage or things that just went, left, you just completely wrote people off, and now, what I'm saying? You're probably having to look at maybe trust issues that you have in yourself, or maybe you always dimmed your light. You always played small. Did I mess up? No. You always dimmed your light. Maybe you always played, small. And now, you had to look at that ugly truth. You had to realize you played small because you didn't feel like you were worthy. And now you're building that self-worth. Now you're seeing yourself and you have a new opportunity. You went inside, you completed that. And I feel like with this Hermit, because this is a general reading, I feel like it's split, right? I feel like for some of you that have already been doing that soul searching and stuff, it's time for you to come out. Take this new beginning with this Ace of Rings, which is the Ace of Pentacles right here. It's time for you to come out. It's time for you to step up. And then for some people, it's time for you to go within. It's time for you to ask yourself, the ugly truth. right? So you can have that breakthrough right here. It's time for that. But no matter where you are on the journey, no matter how uncomfortable it is, you have to know that it is of your highest good and it is of your well-being to honor that part of the journey. I can't stand like when I'm channeling, I just feel like it doesn't make any sense. And I'm just feeling like it's not making sense right here, because whatever you're doing, whatever part of your journey, if you see it through, you have the lovers right here, alignment, harmony. This is true balance, balance within yourself, balance within your life. Everything needs balance. So whatever is happening to you, it's creating harmony. So you're being guided to trust. And you got the 7 of Rings, investment and diligence. And I feel like it came reversed. So I feel like, the 7 of Pentacles is all about, being mindful where you plant your seed. You have to know whatever seeds you plant, it's going to be the seeds that grow. And you have a new opportunity to plant all these 7s. I just thought about the 7 here. Yeah, you have a new opportunity to plant seeds that really honor you. Seeds that really bring you fulfillment. So what are you going to pay attention to? Are you going to be uncomfortable for a little bit? Right? And then eventually come into comfort? Or are you going to go back to this plantation? This card is all about what plantations were. It was a lot of hurt. It was a lot of pain. People died at plantations. Even when people have weddings and stuff and, look at the prettiness, there's nothing pretty about that. Sometimes history is history. Just leave it there. Leave it there. You don't got to revisit. You don't got to keep going back to it. So I feel like this is you facing some ugly truth. I feel like it's like looping a cycle. Like, why keep going back to that? There's this quote. It says like, if you sit in shit too long, eventually you'll become immune to the smell, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it does not change the fact that you're still sitting in shit. You get what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense right there. And I feel like, there's something that you walked away from, something that you left behind, and Spirit is like, don't you dare go back out there. Listen, and if this is a relationship, honey, you are worthy of a love that feels good. You are worthy of a love that nurtures you. And if you are going to allow your past and past failed relationships, or you're going to keep returning back to a relationship that does not mean you no good, know your worth. Put the motherfucking breadcrumbs down right now. You got a whole loaf waiting on you. Come on. I want to say this. And even if this is a friendship, it's something dysfunctional. I wouldn't care if it was a habit. I wouldn't care if it was a person, whether it was romantic, platonic, it don't matter. Shit is shit. Okay? Poop is poop. And when we see this card right here, the abandoned plantation, it says this is a shadow card asking you to question how in our present world many outdated and decaying systems continue to cause harm. After all, there's no point admiring the pretty decorations and the ruined underlining structure threatens to fall and crush you. Again, like I said, there's nothing pretty about a plantation. Right? So let the old be the old. I don't care how uncomfortable it is for you to stretch out of your comfort zone. I don't care how uncomfortable it is for you to be by yourself. I don't care how comfortable it is to you for you to know your worth. I don't care. You will get through it. You got everything you need. That's you right there. So y'all looking at that, the money, your little your intuition, your money spells, you got the divine, you have everything you need. You don't need to go back to this ruin, this place of being. And I feel like, maybe, and I almost feel like this is like a warning. This is like letting you know that, obstacles are real on any journey. Any journey. Everyone has them. They might be different. Okay? Obstacle is okay. But you can overcome these obstacles. Oh, I just wrote a quote down today. Dang, I don't know where my phone is. But I think it was something around the lines of, what? Oh, yeah. Master your emotions. Control your emotions and you will control your life. This screams discipline. You have set a boundary. You have dedicated yourself to a new path, a new way of being, a new way of showing up or letting something go. And it's going to take you to gain control of your emotions so you can control your life, so you can set up for real comfort. Because I feel like that's the path that you're on. Don't let nothing or no one come knock you off and tell you different. Yeah, like look at, I split the deck and you got the Two of Cups, respect and balance. And I feel like this is something that you're doing for yourself. You're learning how to respect your boundaries. You're learning how to respect your needs and your wants. So maybe this isn't easy. But I'm telling you, the most powerful form of self-love is discipline. But nobody's going to tell you that. When you stop playing about you, watch everything around you stop playing about you. And I don't care if it's a person, place, or thing. Because you tell your circumstance how to treat you. You show it. Because guess what? If that job ain't acting right, guess what, boo? Life too short. Go apply for another one. Okay? That person ain't acting right, lying, cheating, belittling, next. How many human beings it is in the world? You are going to find a lot of people that you vibe with, that you connect with, whether it's platonic or romantic. And I'll just give this example of a relationship, but it can be anything, like you don't have to force things. Right? Now being dedicated, cool. Okay, that's discipline. A lot of people, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to your career, when it comes to relationships, we try to force ourselves to be with people and to be around people. That is crazy to me. When there are things and people that will respect you, go where you're celebrated. In all forms of connections, go where you are celebrated. Right? So this is a shadow attribute right here. And I feel like do not allow the shadows of the past, where's the other card? Did I put it back? I think I did. Let's pull one more then. Do not allow the shadows of the past to take away from the truth. But we see in abundance, right? Yeah. Division, the axe, lessening. This is about cutting things off, honey. Not the mason jar. Protection. I'm telling you, there is something in the past, whether this is a person or some way of being, something is desiring to come out. Y'all see how that flew out here? And Spirit is saying, cut it at the root. You have an opportunity to cut it at the root. And that's simply you no longer feeding it no more. No longer giving it your energy. The axe is 14. Wow. 7. Look at that. Mentorship and protection. So when the axe shows up with the card, see, listen, you need to cut that off. Whatever left your life, it left Rejection is God's protection. Listen. Let the habit, let whatever that is, let it stay where it's at. Right? The mason jar. The mason jar card may represent something spiritual to you, or may simply be a symbol of someone in your life who offers important advice for your present journey. Isn't that fitting that I'm giving this reading? But it says, open yourself to lessons from outside yourself, as they will lead to new paths of wisdom. So only new here. Divinity, awe, the grove. Only new here. 22 is a master number. So I feel like, we are embarking on Mercury Retrograde. This is what this energy is really giving me. I feel like this is influenced by Mercury. You're on your path to your ultimate fulfillment. You're doing it, right? Don't allow the past don't allow the shadows of the past or having to be uncomfortable right now or whatever you're doing new. Don't allow that to make you return to something old. Okay? So I love you guys so freaking much. I hope that this message resonated with you. It was such an honor to share space with you and allow my words into your heart. As always, I love you. You can find all of my information down in the description box, and I will catch you on my channel. Take care, babies.